Hey, good morning, everybody. Michael Anderson here. I'm the founder of 0% Mastery. Now, today I don't want to take up too much of your time, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. So, in today's free training, I want to share with you guys exactly how I'm able to get over $100,000 in 0% interest free capital in less than 45 days using a unique card stacking strategy and how you can use it as well. So, who is this for? So, this is going to be for current business owners and real estate investors who are currently seeking the capital to grow. This is going to be for entrepreneurs who are seeking capital to invest into new income streams. And then lastly, this is going to be for investors who are just simply seeking more money to take advantage of additional investment opportunities. So just some quick facts about myself. So I've been using this strategy for a little over 2 years, and that's allowed me to obtain over $330,000 in 0% in low interest business funding. I personally went from having a 608 credit score, as you guys see right there, to over a 720 plus and over $150,000 in personal and business credit in just 9 months. And like I said, I was able to use these funds to start and scale multiple businesses and make passive streams of income by investing into new vehicles. So for example, I bought a semi truck, and you guys can see all of this stuff on my Instagram as well. If you guys go over there, you can see my highlights. You can see what I've been doing for the last few years by utilizing the strategy. So some of the old funding methods that people are typically accustomed to, number one, bootstrapping. I personally don't like bootstrapping just because it ties up a lot of your personal funds. Number two, yeah, you could use equity partners, but at the end of the day, you'd be giving up control and having to share your profits. Use personal or business loans, but those typically are tied to high interest rates and have strict requirements. So the benefits of using this card stacking method. Number one, you're able to access large credit lines without denials. Number two, you're able to leverage OPM to fund your business and short-term investments. Number three, you're able to get access to hundreds of thousands of dollars at 0% interest. And number four, you're able to allocate the funds into multiple investments. So like I said, you can start and scale businesses or even invest into new income producing assets. So the requirements. Number one, you need to make sure that you have at least a 680 plus across all three bureaus, preferably. Number two, we want to make sure that you have at least 3 revolving credit cards on the personal side that equate to at least $15,000. Now, institutions will lend up to 4 times the total credit amount on one card. Okay. We want to make sure that your utilization is less than 30% per card. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but banks love lending to people who seem as if they don't need the funds. So they try to incentivize people to use their card so they can make money on the interest by giving them higher limits. Number four, we want to make sure that there's no negatives, no collections, no inquiries, no negatives, no repos, bankruptcy, stuff like that. And then lastly, no new accounts in the last 6 months. So this is just going to be an example of what credit stacking looks like. So as you guys see here, once again, I was able to get $138,000 at 0% for 12 to 20 months in one funding round, only using 4 inquiries. And on my right here are some of the cards that I've been able to obtain. So what is business credit? So number one, these cards are not going to report to or on your personal credit file. So if you get $100,000 in 0% business credit and you use all $100,000 in a form of an investment, then the utilization will not report to your personal credit file. So if you have a 750 plus, your score will still be a 750 plus, even though you've maxed out these business credit cards. Number two, you do not pay interest on these cards for 12 to 21 months per card on average. Number three, these business credit cards do not report to your business credit profile either, nor do they require any business banking statements. They don't require any tax returns or even an 80 PAYDEX score. And lastly, you can stack multiple high limit cards from multiple institutions to access high limits of 0% interest free capital. So if you guys look to your right, you're able to see between 2 cards, I was able to get $75,000. I got $50,000 on a Chase Business Inc. Unlimited card, and then I was able to get $25,000 on a US Bank Business Platinum card. So think about how easy it is to get $100,000 at 0% if I'm getting $75,000 between 2 cards. So how did we card stack? This is how I teach all of my clients in my 0% mastery program. And this is exactly how I feel you guys should do it as well if you want to get maximum results. Number one, I like to identify the grade A banks in my state that have 0% business cards. So out of California, my best banks were Chase, US Bank, and Amex, and then there were additional ones as well, but these were the grade A relationship-based banks. So after you target those grade A banks, I then like to move on to regional banks for the second portion of the funding. Then I like to move on to the credit unions, so on and so forth. Now, one thing to note that's not on this PowerPoint is that after you've obtained your initial cards from some of these institutions, you're actually able to get additional products without having any hard pulls on your credit file. So that's a whole other little funding hack on the side. So number two, within my program, 0% Mastery, I actually provide a business card locator and an inquiry database with extensive data points. So we know the banks that offer business credit cards across the country and which bureaus they're pulling from. So now that we're able to know where these banks are pulling from, we're able to design a custom, unique funding plan specifically for you out of the state you're in, and we're able to get maximum high limit results. So we're able to get 3 business cards from TransUnion, we're able to get 3 business cards from Experian, and we're able to get 3 business cards from Equifax. How much do you think you could get in funding? Like, just think about it. That's 9 business cards, and you just saw with 2, I was able to get 75,000. Something to think about. Number 4, you can have multiple funding rounds. So unlike personal credit, when you remove the inquiries tied to these business credit cards, the accounts aren't affected at all. And you have a brand new fresh slate to be able to go out and get even more business credit. So it's like a crazy business credit hat. Like, these business credit cards are really a game changer. So I'm still shocked that not a lot of people are aware of this. And lastly, if you apply through relationship managers as opposed to online or in person, then you're able to get higher approvals. But most people don't know about this because these managers only work with people who have a high line of business or extremely wealthy people. Fortunate enough for me, I was able to learn how to use this method, and I was introduced to different business relationship managers over the years, and they allow me to bring clients and bring some of the people that I work with to them to assist them with getting high limit approvals from their institutions as well. So here to the left, this was actually one of my business relationship managers that I worked with at Chase right before I was able to get my $50,000 Business Sync Unlimited card. We jumped on a call, he broke down the products, and then he walked me through the application process, and he sent me a DocuSign. So that's one of the best advantages of using these relationship managers, is that you get DocuSigns where you can actually control the limits that you're trying to obtain on these cards. So John used my program, used this method, and was able to receive $50,000 in 0% business credit. He invested $10,000 as a down payment to start his automated Uber Black business. So he's a former 9-to-5 employee turned successful investor. He chose OPM over bootstrapping to start this venture. He's now earning over $8,000 in monthly net passive income. And the way he did this was by purchasing luxury cars. He purchased a 2019 E-Class Mercedes, and he hires drivers to do Uber Black rides for 40 hours a week out of Los Angeles. So as you guys see here, in February, John was able to get approved with FNBO. We got him $15,000 from them, and then we were able to get him another $35,000 from Citizens. He then went out and purchased the 2019 E-Class Mercedes, as you see here. Got it for $45,000. He put $10,000 down. A few months after the fact, I went back. I was asking him how everything was doing, and he was sending me his deposits. And as you guys see, $10,474.54 just for the month of November in rides. Next, we have Gabe. Gabe was able to receive $160,000 in 0% in launchers funding that he then used to start his own trucking company. He had reached out to me via Facebook, and after we were able to assist him with getting funded, he decided to purchase a semi-truck and lease it under my authority. Now, for those of you who did not know, one of the companies that I actually started using this method and using these funds was a trucking company. So once he received the funding, we located the truck for him. I found this driver. I let him use one of my old drivers, and then I handled his day-to-day operational support. And the only thing he had to worry about was just paying his notes. So he was earning passive income through weekly returns. Eventually, he ended up getting enough to where he felt comfortable to just go off and start his own trucking company. And that's currently what he's able to do today. So if you see here, this is where he was able to get a $50,000 approval from Chase as well. And then you see the 2023 Peterbilt he was able to purchase. Here you're able to see after a month of running loads with us, we actually missed a few days this month. It was like 8 days that we missed because it was the month of July due to the holidays, and we were still able to get him $35,249 within that month alone after missing 8 days. And as you guys see here, here's some of the returns that I was sending him weekly through Zelle and different wires. So if you can use an extra $50,000 to $150,000 in 0% money in the next 45 to 60 days, if you're coachable and you want to be a part of a growing community, and most importantly, you want to take your business ideas, or your investments to the next level without having to pay interest or using your own money, then book your call below and let's make your business dreams a reality. Once again, my name is Michael Anderson, and I can't wait to see you guys on the call.